For this review of the Audi A1, I've come to the Cotswolds, to the Barnsley Hotel and Spa. Like the A1, it's small and very fashionable. Unlike the A1, it has its own cinema, spa and wedding chapel. But they're both similar in that they both share a common theme of excellence, exclusivity and attention to detail. Or has the A1 gone back a step?
What we have here is the Tierman Green 1 litre 116 horsepower version, and it's called a 30 TFSI. You might be thinking, what does that mean? Well, I'll explain it, because on this piece of paper is an explanation of the new Audi naming system. 30 TFSI means between 81 and 96 kilowatts of power. So there can be several cars in that name bracket. See, perfectly explained. There you go. What is a kilowatt?
For now, the A1 only comes as a 4-door and is called a Sportback because people don't want 3-door cars anymore. The 1 litre is the best bet, which you can choose with a 6-speed manual or 7-speed auto. There's also a 35 engine with 150 horsepower. You also get a larger boot now, which is bigger than the Fiestas or the Mini Cooper.
You also now get a free virtual cockpit, which is great, lane departure warning and automatic stopping for pedestrians and cyclists, which is good. However, you will pay for one of these. An armrest.
To say they are stingy with equipment compared to other cars is an understatement. However, there aren't very many cars that are built as well as Audis, and so from their perspective, well, you get what you pay for. And yes, whilst that's true, you still don't get very much.
This one has a 0 to 60 of 9.5 seconds. It weighs 1,105 kilograms. Not light, not heavy, but all you need to know is forget those numbers. The engine is brilliant. Little 1 litre unit, 3 cylinders. You're never going to want for any more power. Very, very clever. In fact, this is probably about the same power as the last outgoing 1.4 petrol engine, which is progress.
In the UK now, you get a 3-year warranty, which is good because even though I've never known one to go wrong, they were in the bottom 3 last year for reliability if JD Power's survey is to be believed.
Right then, what else have we got? Well, we've got USBs too. We've got USB 1 and USB 2 here, mini USB, and there's a wireless charging. I've plugged my phone in because I want to show you Apple CarPlay. Oh, by the way, this is all now built in, and you can't now have the pop-up screen, which is a shame because that was my favorite thing about Audis. So here is the Apple CarPlay, and these are the icons, and that is now been added, Waze, which is fantastic. Going back to the home screen, look at this, the new navigation. It's a bit funny, this touchscreen. You can zoom in and you can move around. They've improved these fonts, they're fantastic. This is a great improvement. It's almost like the one you get in a Tesla, isn't it? And you can have all that information and more on the virtual cockpit just how you want it.
Just like the first generation, the build and materials are good. Do they seem as well made as the old one? Possibly not. For me, there's a little too much sparseness, and it does feel like they've taken a bit of a step backwards, maybe.
These are not noises you normally hear in an Audi, are they? And there's another small thing. Have a look at this. This is the interior of the brand new VW Polo. And this is the interior of the brand new Audi A1. Let's have a look at that again. Polo, A1. Now here's a question for the comments. Would you say that's different enough? Do you know what? I think Audi might be going for a slightly more mature audience, certainly with the one they've sent here, because it does look a bit like that. In fact, if that's what they're going for, they've nailed it. You've got lovely comfortable seats, really easy to maneuver steering wheel, and brilliant gears that change very easy. In fact, just to demonstrate that, I'm going to do a 3-point turn now, because if there is some mature people watching, they will want to see more practical things. So I'm going to do that now, actually. This is mainly really for my mum though, because she has got an A1 and navigation, but she doesn't use it. In fact, she doesn't know how to use it, and so she's constantly doing this. So there you go, look how easy it is. She'll be talking back at the computer now, thinking that it's live. No, Mum, it's recorded, dear, it's not live. Oh, is it, dear?
Just before we go look at the prices, mums will also be pleased with the miles to the gallon, because this showed me an average of 37, but on a run a very impressive 48. I also really like the LEDs that you get, which are exceptionally bright. Plus there's 65 more litres of boot space and an extra 56 millimetres of length.
However, this is still what I would regard as being a low car. For someone as tall as me, it's not perfect. There are easier small cars to get in and out of than this one. However, it's not really built for me, 6 foot. I can feel the back seat with my hand. I'm always banging my knee on the steering wheel, or I'm getting a punch in the side from the side of the seat when I get in. However, there is good news, because when you are inside, there is plenty of room. And it's twice as comfortable as the last one, which again is more progress.
If you have a current A1, you might not need to panic into getting a new one, especially maybe in green. But in other colours with bigger wheel options, you might be surprised how good this can look. And of course, there isn't anything much more desirable today than the very latest Audi with its clever indicators, interiors and brilliant new steering wheels. That's not to mention the Google Maps as default and being fully integrated with the outside world like never before. Of course it's good. It's an Audi. What did you expect?
The question is, how much is one though? Because obviously this is an Audi. Well, I have another piece of paper for that because I've been on the website. It's a comparison site. You can have a look at the link below, and I've got the A-Class, the Polo, one of these, and a BMW 1 Series on there. Which one do you think is the most expensive? It's actually the A-Class. In fact, this is the second cheapest. It's only £10 a month more than the cheapest one, which was a VW Polo. It came in at £185 a month and £1,800 down, which I thought was really good value for a highly connected and very stylish Audi A1. And it has ruined the end of this video, because I was going to say how overpriced they were and you don't get any equipment, and so now I'm going to have to think of another way of ending it. So, what? Just get off.
Before you go, it's time now for your bit, because everybody loves reading the comments to find out the little secrets. What do you think of the A1? The seats, for instance, and the fact that you can't get a 3-door anymore. The prices quoted were found at the time of upload on the site. You can look below. Thank you for staying this long, and until next time, safe driving.